There we are. Good morning. Right there. Got a bit of an Eric cam today because you asked for it last week. He's here. Complete with his patriotic blanket with lots of holes in it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to late middle September. Autumn. Hurrah! It is. Yes, it is very autumnal out there. Oh, a bit tired, are we?
I think they'd be more interested in all my nice vinyl albums.
Or your vinyl behind Eric, yes.
Yeah.
That's a
little bit more interesting.
That's only a small fraction of it.
Yeah.
But they are all in alphabetical order. You'll be impressed.
Yeah. Gotta be done.
Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Sue from a dull and very windy Sunderland. We do have grey blue skies here, bit of sunshine. Good afternoon, Lucky Fairy Queen. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Nicola. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Maria. Going to be 25 here today. No. Stop it. Sue, you can't beat vinyl. Yes, Pete has his vinyl collection's been going since he was young. So yeah, it's quite a considerable collection. Mine's not allowed in there. My vinyl collection is about that wide.
You've only got 2 albums. One of them's Frankie Goes to Wigan or whatever it is.
Frankie Goes to Hollywood, thank you. 12-inch special edition.
Where am I putting that?
I don't know, there's too many webcams in the way.
Yeah, there is. And wires.
And wires and things. Thank you.
And dog biscuits.
You want a little biscuit?
No, thank you.
Good morning, Christine. Good morning, everyone. So yes, we are coming up for the equinox. So that's what today is all about. Oh, in the dark today. Don't think I turned all the lights on. Let's turn another light on. Whoa! Good morning. It's a bit of a shock to the system. Good morning, Angela. Dream of it being 25 and dry here. We have had quite a bit of rain here too. Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Xenia. Love Eric have the same blanket. I think it belonged to our youngest when he was much younger. And then it got relegated to Eric. He does like to make holes in them. Are you not on YouTube, says Maria? Oh, I should be.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yes, definitely there. Lucky Fairy Queen, he is so cute. He's a bit of a git, aren't you? You're washing your feet. He's our git, yes. He was a rescue, so he's got a few issues, but then who hasn't? Good morning, Emma. Yes, Eric Cam as requested. Good morning, Trudy. Good morning, Camilla. Yeah. He's a bit special, aren't you?
He's on TV, so he's leaning.
He's on TV. He's cleaning his feet. Yes, just so you know. Good morning, Steve. Xenia says rained here, now grey but warmer, very humid and warm. Yeah, it's pretty much like that here. Angela, we know autumn has arrived here in Brittany as the rain is colder. Good morning, Kerry and Ebony in a dull Clanelly. Yeah, it's we like autumn. Right there. I'm getting the side eye. You handsome boy. He's not sure about the grandbaby. Definitely not sure about the grandbaby, are you? She's a bit smelly and a bit noisy. A bit like you. So yes, today's subject, the equinox, autumn equinox, or the spring equinox if you're on the southern hemisphere. I think I mentioned it last week. I think the autumn equinox does get a little bit forgotten, maybe. I think we go from the summer straight to Samhain because we like Samhain. Yeah, I'm downstairs today, so it's a bit more office-y down here. but it was so I could have the webcam. I think it gets a bit forgotten because I think we kind of jump to Samhain because we want to get all the decorations out and everything. So I think perhaps the autumn equinox gets a little bit forgotten sometimes.
He's on the road this morning.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you celebrate it? How do you celebrate it? Is there anything you do particularly? Do you have traditions? Do you have things that you particularly like to do? What sort of magical energy do you think it carries? How do you connect with it? All of those questions and above. So, we're a bit professional today. It's like being in an office because that's where we are. But the office has Eric Cam, so, it's better, isn't it? Yes, that's the theme for today. Throw your ideas out there and we'll see where it takes us. Right, let's scroll down a bit. Good morning, Lizzie from sunny Essex. Jane, good morning, Jane. Went on YouTube first and got last week's talk. This week's talk is up there too, Jane. You just have to refresh it a bit. Jane, it's TK Maxx that takes us from summer to Samhain. It does, doesn't it? They do, but they do have some good Halloween-y type decorations. Good morning, David. What a week. Have you been up to stuff? I do think the autumn equinox gets a bit kind of forgotten, a bit overshadowed by Samhain. I did mention it again last week, but if you want to call it Mabon, do it. Just do a bit of research about it. It is a name that was given to the Sabbath in the 1970s, so it's not ancient. It is in honour of one of the Welsh gods who apparently has nothing to do with autumn. I'm not hot on the Welsh gods, so do your research. But like I said last week, call it whatever you want, just as long as you know why you call it that. Let's get some of these up. So, sad eyes, did you bark at the post? Always. The postman laughs, actually, because when it comes to collect parcels, which is an excellent service that the Royal Mail do now, if you want to send parcels, you pay an extra 30p and they actually collect the parcel from your house, which is brilliant. He's gotten very used to Eric now, but it makes him laugh because apparently on the official Royal Mail paperwork, it has dog hazard.
It's a hazard.
It makes the postman laugh.
Good earache, that's it.
Good evening, Sephora. Good morning, Leslie. Lucky Fairy Queen started baking apple cakes for the Sabbath since last year. Wonderfully delicious. Love an apple cake, love an apple pie, love an apple crumble, definitely. David, this time of the year, the second harvest, think it's a good mark of the year, but we really need to change the name. It's just nuts. We could call it the nut harvest, nut Sabbath. Yeah. I do tend to call it the autumn equinox, but I don't have a problem if you want to call it Mabon, just as long as you understand why and where the history of it. Nicola, love the season of autumn and working with all nature's abundance. Yes, now that's a key thing, I think, isn't it? At this time of the year, you start to get the autumn leaves. You've got nuts, you've got seed heads, you've got lots of goodies in the garden and lots of spiders' webs as well, of course, because they just everywhere at the moment. Oh, are you going to sleep? All right. It's just tuck him in. Let's just down a bit. Oh, there we are. Emma, I have my altar set up for autumn. Few apples, which are very, very much symbolic of this time of the year, aren't they? Wooden autumn sign, few candles, just enough and not too much. Always have a root vegetable stew. Perfect. Lucky Fairy Queen. Drying apple slices as well for teas and other stuff. Very nice. I've made apple slice wreaths before now as well, which look very good. Good morning, Amanda. Emma, conkers and acorns. Yeah, the conkers are all over the deck now. Yes, Urban Fable. Yes, Eric Cam. Debbie, the autumn equinox is my time to nestle and prepare for winter. Yes, it is. It's that preparation time, isn't it? It is that gathering of all of the abundance to store away for the winter. It is the canning, pickling, jam making time of the year. I can confirm that Heather makes the best jam ever. Just putting it out there. She won't hear me today. I don't think she's on the road to Glastonbury. But yes, I can confirm blackberry jam and raspberry jam were devoured within a couple of days. But it is that time of the year, isn't it? So looking forward to the Kitchen Witch Autumn Ritual Workshop next Saturday. Yes, next weekend, free, online, open to everyone. All of the details are on the Kitchen Witch Coven Facebook group. Do have a look. The girls and I will be back from a week away. We are going to Torquay for the week. On air, Kitchen Witch Jolly Holidays. Oh, bye.
It's a jolly holiday.
Let's take him off now, being as he's buggered off. He's gone to find some sunshine. Have a good day at work, Leslie. So Sephora is on the flip side. Sephora is in the southern hemisphere, so Sephora's coming up for the spring equinox. Got blossoms and spring starting, but also thunderstorm just went through. Got some serious hail. We'll postpone spring planting a little longer. Yes, perhaps a wise idea. Jane, come on, click. There we go. Spiders build webs across our front gateway in the path. Hubby's carer came in wearing 2 spiders. Yeah, you have to do the whole karate thing. We just keep a stick. We keep a stick in the garden that we kind of use as a lightsaber to clear the pathways. Oh, good morning, Jalala. David, I have to confess, I'm not a fan of this time of the year. Kill surprise. Spring and summer. Take my energy from the sun. You do. David is totally solar powered. Feel my soul being dragged, kicking and screaming into the next season. See, I am completely flipped round. I am. This season is my season. Love it. Not mine. I mean, obviously I'll share it, but it is the season that I love the most. But yes, David, totally solar powered. Oh, there's a link for the autumn workshop thing. Thank you. Good morning, Sylvia. Nicola, to capture a spider's web to keep on where the spider's left and not coming back. Any suggestions for how to preserve it and capture it on something? Interesting. I don't know. When I use spider's webs in my witch jars normally, my witch bottles. I just literally get a pencil or something and wiggle it until it all gets caught on the end of it. I don't know. Has anyone actually preserved a spider's web as it is? I'm not sure how you would do that, to be honest. You'd have to, I don't know, would you, a piece of fabric, you would have to just sort of carefully swipe like that or something. Has anyone ever done it? Any suggestions, recommendations for Nicola? Pop them in the comments. Fairy Queen, the moment summer goes, I start feeling more energized for some reason, like I can do anything. Autumn is I think the equinoxes in particular, the changing of the seasons from summer to autumn, and then the changing of the season from winter to spring, for me, they are 2 really, really liminal points of the year. They are what the equinox is all about, really. It is a balancing point, isn't it? I think they are stronger turning points than any other times of the year. Claire, the eclipse occurs at the south node, not that positive, really. Maybe not do very much. Goes is gone and not coming back. Okay, I think it depends how you connect with the energy of things, doesn't it? This for me is a definite stepping into the next phase kind of thing. Jalala with David, though I never worried about it much before moving here. I was always an autumn person, but since moving to the deep countryside of Normandy, totally a spring and summer gal. Does it make a difference where you live as well because of the scenery, because of the climate? The weather changes will be different wherever you are. So that must play. If you are connected to nature, then it must play a role in how you feel at the turning of the seasons, for sure. Lots of links there. Thank you very much. I have to admit, I don't specifically celebrate the Sabbats intentionally with things other than the Kitchen Witch events. And that's probably my celebration, is the online events with Kitchen Witch. Other than that, I connect with nature on a daily basis. So I'm watching those changes on a daily basis. Maybe, I don't know, if I don't know, bizarre scenario, if you only stepped outside once every couple of months, it would probably be quite a shock to see the change in the seasons. But if you're connected to it and you're watching those changes every day, they are smaller changes. But there is that point, it was a few weeks ago, where I stepped out in the morning and you could feel that crispness in the air. You could feel that kind of promise that autumn is on the way. So I think it is about being connected and taking note of those things. And the garden as well. The garden feels now like it's shutting down. It feels like it's starting to close down for the winter. There's still things flowering. It's still beautiful out there, but it's got that feel to it that it is starting to shut down. So it is about being connected, I think, isn't it? Jane, autumn and winter means I can do more without boiling to death. Yes, heat and humidity were unbearable this year. Yeah, I'm not good in the sun. I don't like the heat. I did get very bored with it very quickly. Which like most things, yeah. I think it's weird because I like working with solar magic. I love working with sun magic. I just don't like being out in it for long periods of time when it's too hot. Sappho, sometimes work really gets in the way. May not often celebrate, but do recognise the change at the very least. I think that's it's an important point. When I put the dog biscuits out of the way, when I first started a million years ago on this journey, my training was in Wicca, so it was important to learn the Sabbats and all of the dates. And I actually struggled to remember them all. I had little notes stuck up everywhere of dates and times and what was happening. And I did change my altar for each one, and I did a ritual for each one. And then it's a lot of work because every 6 weeks you are working with a different theme, changing your altar, doing rituals. It's a lot if you've got other stuff going on as well. And at the time, young babies, young children, full-time jobs and all of that malarkey, it's a lot to keep up with everything. And I did start to realise that I missed that Sabbath, I forgot to do that, waiting for the lightning to strike. It doesn't. I think that's probably the point where I started to think, actually, this is a lot to be doing. And that's probably when I started working with the seasons rather than the Sabbats in a more general way. So I do tend to work with that. And it's okay if you don't do a great big ritual. It's okay if you don't even light a candle. It helps you and your spiritual journey if you are connected and you know that the season's changing. You don't have to do all the bells and whistles. It's got to work for you. But I think it is important to note the changing of the season, to recognise that the wheel of the year is turning. It absolutely has to work for you. Tina, I'm a spring and summer person, but have found new appreciation for autumn. Loved winter when the seasons were the seasons like back in the 70s. They have changed, haven't they? There is that more of a blur, perhaps, between the lines between the changing of the seasons. I can remember winters as a kid being freezing cold. I don't think we even had a frost in our garden last year. So yeah, it's the world is changing. The climate is changing, absolutely. Nicola, autumn is so magical. Rituals to shed with leaves, walking on a path of gold, abundance in seeds, catching leaves to make your inner child smile. Love it. I think leaves in particular have so much magic. There are so many different magical ways of working with leaves. They make excellent spell petitions to write on. They make excellent wrappings to wrap spells up in, to make spell pouches, to you can do all sorts of scrying with them and all sorts of things. They are really, really magical to work with. David, agree that this time of the year does get overlooked. Is it more celestial as it's a fixed event, or is it the seasonal thing marking of the change, or both? I think it's Samhain. I think it just gets so overshadowed with Samhain that it does get a little bit forgotten about. I mean, who isn't looking at Samhain decorations already? Hands up who's got some of your Samhain decorations up already. And I don't mean the ones you keep up all year. I think it does. I think that's the thing, is that it does get quite overshadowed by it. I don't know. What does anyone else think? Debbie, love the earthy smells at this time of the year and watching how nature begins to shut down to rest. You can feel it, can't you? It really does. It's doing that thing. It's, do you know what? It's getting a little bit nippy in the mornings. I'm closing down. Yeah, you can feel that, can't you? And you can see it too. Xenia would add, I find the extremes exhausting health-wise. Too hot, too cold. Like spring and autumn most. Yeah, kind of the in-betweeny stages, aren't they, from the weather point of view? The most comfortable weather point of view, I think. Glad that summer is over. My flat doesn't get hot and I don't need to have loud fans on. Yes. Yes. The fans can go back in the loft till next year. Emma, does this sound silly? Probably not. I can feel myself preparing for the colder months, like I'm sleeping in more, eating stews and soups more. Does it make sense? Yes. I have not slept all summer. The last couple of weeks, I've slept really well. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Is it a thing? Is it part of our DNA? Is it something in us that ancient man would have now been preparing for the winter? They would have been doing the harvest and storing things, putting stuff away, preparing for the winter. Do we still have kind of echoes of that now? And I'm all up for stew and dumplings anytime. So, Emily, my favourite holiday, has such beautiful, cosy, reflective energy without the intensity of Samhain. Yes, now that's a good way of putting it. It's a good reminder to check in with myself regarding what I'm grateful for as well. I think the harvest Sabbats in particular are very much about, not just about the abundance that Mother Nature provides. They are a good time to be thankful, aren't they? They are a good time to be grateful for what you have. Yeah, absolutely. But I like that the description, because Samhain is intense, isn't it? It is very intense. Definitely. David, I think we have to agree there's a distinctly different energy than summer or winter. It's more of a gathering. Yes. First corn, second fruits and nuts. It's an energy of letting go and bringing in. It is an equinox, isn't it? So it is that balance. It is that equal thing. It's a seesaw, isn't it, really? We've gone from that and now we're going to that. So yes, letting go and bringing in, definitely. Ruby, for me, the seasons and equinoxes are the real deal. Sabbats are man-made. The wheel of the year is modern. It is modern. But it does draw on some ancient celebrations. It does draw on some. I mean, the equinoxes weren't in the first wheel of the year. It started off with 4 and then they added more. I think it works because it does give you a compass, almost a guide to connect with the seasons, kind of a prompt to connect with all of the seasons. But yes, the equinoxes and the solstices are planetary. They are set things. The other things are man-made celebrations, but they do connect with nature. I think they do help us to recognise what's going on. Xenia, also during spring and autumn, nature is so colourful. Oh, it is. It's got its whole palette of colours out, hasn't it? Jane, leaves make black gold. Totally magical stuff for growing things in. Yes, you have to be careful, don't you, which leaves you work with and chop them up as well. But yes, compost. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Lucky Fairy Queen, me. So you have got Samhain decorations up already. I'm not judging. Absolutely not judging. I've already started watching the Halloween movies. Perfect. Actually don't have my Samhain decorations up, which is a change. It'll happen. Lucky Fairy Queen. Also drinking pumpkin spice lattes and teas too. I did have my first pumpkin spice latte of the year last week, possibly. There's a wonderful little coffee shop in North End in Portsmouth. It's called Another Coffee Shop. They do the best lattes. I did have one of their pumpkin spice ones last week. Very, very much of the season. Good morning. Probably not morning for you, Barbara. Good morning, Barbara. Xenia. Love Samhain decorations, but haven't up anything autumn or Halloween yet. Right, yeah. I think it's important, isn't it, that you don't feel that you must put decorations up. Don't feel that you must redecorate your altar. You've got to do what works for you. Absolutely. Don't beat yourself up about it. Not worth it. Lucky Fairy Queen. In that sense, I guess Samhain overpowers the Sabbath. It does. I think it does. I think Samhain overpowers the autumn equinox. But I don't know, just my thoughts. David, really good sign of the change in nature is horse chestnut trees. Yes. Am I right in thinking they are the first tree to start dropping leaves? I notice the signs of autumn with the horse chestnuts because there's one just round the corner from us. And when we walk to our little cafe that we like, we have to walk past that tree. And when you start to see the conkers, the big green spikies hanging from the trees, you know that autumn is on the way. And this last week when we walked past it, there were conkers everywhere, all over the pavement, all over the road. The cars had run over some of them that were being really weird and picking up all of the nice big shiny ones. I think for me, the horse chestnut tree is one of those first signs of autumn. Emma's on Halloween movies as well. What are Halloween movies? There's another question. Which Halloween movies do you watch? Jane, I think the shorter days have a significant effect. Darkness arriving earlier each evening feels like a blanket round the house somehow. Yes. Time to dust off the slow cooker and live on casseroles. Yes, slow cooker. Very, very useful thing. Which Halloween movies are you watching? Bear in mind, I'm not good at scary stuff. Debbie, yes, it's in our ancestral DNA. Hunter-gatherers, to store and eat more food, store fat to see us through the winter months. Yes, I'm storing fat for sure. That's my excuse. I got to store it for the winter. Lucky Fairy Queen, I think when I was starting my witchy journey, having the Sabbaths actually helped me to take note of the seasons. Earlier it was just summer, winter, rain for me, pulled me out of my ignorance. I think it helps, doesn't it? It does give you points of the year to just acknowledge and recognise and note that the seasons are moving. Jane, having the wheel of the year is a bit like having a timetable at school. From an early age, we're conditioned to have some sort of timetable to keep us in check. I like a schedule. I like a good schedule. I like to be organised. I like stuff in the diary. Mint tea today. No pumpkin spice latte yet. You never know. The day's still young. Claire, I was born in March, so I always use the equinox to focus on what I'm thankful for and may make an offering. Nice. Now, I was born on Halloween. I mean, it was fated. Really, wasn't it? Fated. Sylvia, before I was on my path, I always ignored the official dates for when the seasons change. 1st of September was for me a sign to change the decorations out for autumn, etc. And end half in October, change it out for Halloween. Funny, I did those things without knowing anything about my path. Yeah, I think we do a lot of things instinctively, don't we? We do. But I think it's also important. This is why I kind of fell off the wheel. Because the dates on the calendar don't always match what's happening with the weather. The goddess does not have a calendar. She doesn't wake up and go, oh, yeah, autumn equinox, let's get the leaves off the trees. It doesn't happen like that. It will depend on where you are in the country. It will depend on where you are in the world. I think the wheel of the year works as a guide, but I think it's more important to connect with the energy and the seasons where you are, because it will be different. At the moment here, I've been harvesting conkers, and our farmers are all harvesting corn and barley and wheat and all the usual stuff for the UK. If you are in a different country, your local harvest might be mangoes or pineapples or something completely different to the things that are being harvested where I am. So it's for me, it's more important to connect with what's happening in nature where you are. Yeah, little lecture. David, best time for abundance work, offerings and thanks. Yes, very philosophical season in that case. I'm now thinking, yes, I would say it is. Because it is such a liminal time. It is, let's just stop and think about stuff for a minute. Yes, absolutely. Abundance, definitely. Christine, it's the season of duvet days. On Wednesday, I was sat watching Mist of Avalon on the settee. There's an old one. Chilling. I love it. When it's too cold to go out, brings the homebod in me. Yes, I have missed sitting on the sofa in the evening with my blanket and my hot water bottle. I have missed that. Did not want to be doing that in the summer. Claire, a half-year check-in. I think that's another thing about the Sabbats, isn't it? Having those dates, it gives you a point where you can just check in and look back at what's happened over the last few weeks, and then you can look forward as well and put some plans into action. I think all of them work quite well for that. But yes, I think the equinoxes particularly are very good at that, to kind of make you stop, have a look back, have a think about forward. Yes, absolutely. Tina, busy doing autumn cleaning, ready to put up my autumnal decorations and do my altar. Yeah, if I wasn't going on air hollybobs with the girls next week, I would be autumn cleaning. I should do it when I get back. Yes, the house desperately needs it. Xenia, who can't resist picking up conkers even though you already have several? Yeah, they're all so shiny. They are. And the child in me picks one up and says, oh, that one would be good for fighting. Did you all play conkers when you were young? I don't think the kids do it these days. Probably not allowed to, health and safety and that kind of thing. Iris, my husband just came home with the first fresh grape juice. That will become cider in some days. Very typical autumnal taste. Yes, cider. Apples and cider, very, very much autumnal, aren't they? Cider and apple pie, and yeah, apples. Very, very magical fruit. Very much connected with this time of the year. Emily, maybe it also gets overshadowed because Halloween is recognised by the wider world. Yeah, as pagans, we don't have the option of watching special May Bond films, for example. Maybe in the future, though, you never know. You never know. Yeah, I guess it does, doesn't it? Because all of the shops have Halloween stuff in them. And yeah, all of the spooky films are kind of themed around Halloween, aren't they? Oh, here we are. Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, yes. Haunted Mansion, new and old. Hubby Halloween, Harry Potter, love Harry Potter. We Have a Ghost, The Curse of Bridge Hollow, to name but a few. Practical Magic has got to be thrown in there, hasn't it? I'm going to throw Gene Wilder in there as well. Haunted Honeymoon. Excellent film. But then again, now that I'm more aligned to the seasons, I tend to ignore the wheel and tune into nature. Yeah, I think it is important to have that connection. Emma, for me, it's paranormal horror movies, not the gore, not the not the slasher stuff then, but the ghosty stuffs. I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to that. David, Autumn, Season of the Squirrel. A meditation of Ratatataska. What do you like? I like Season of the Squirrel. That's good. Jane, the Sabbaths helped to remind us that there was life before the modern routine of TV and social media. People actually went out, got together and held celebrations. It was something to focus on before someone invented the screen. Yes, I mean, there is evidence that some of the Sabbats from the Wheel of the Year were celebrated in ancient times. Not all, but some of them. I think ancient man very, very much would have been conscious of the seasons, obviously, because it was life or death. They would have been preparing now. They would have been storing food because they knew that winter was coming. And if they didn't store away enough food, they weren't going to last the winter. So I think they were very, very much conscious of the seasons. And I think they were very wise about the moon phases and the sun and the planets. And they knew about this stuff. They were tapped into this stuff. They had to be to stay alive. Debbie, don't follow a set in stone calendar, follow the weather. Which is a bit mad. The weather does seem to have been. Emma, never seen Hocus Pocus. Do it. Yes, it's a brilliant film. It's very of its time. But I love it. Lucky Fairy Green, exactly. Love the light-hearted ones, not strong enough for the hardcore scary movies. No, me neither. But yes, Emma, you need to watch Hocus Pocus, absolutely. Xenia, also somehow embrace darkness, walking outside in the evening and less or no people. Either they are inside or they don't see me. Feels so quiet and peaceful. Also, the air in the dark seems cleaner. Yes, I know what you mean. It's got a stillness to it somehow. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Nicola, I'm always collecting plants, seeds, etc. to jar up. However, I haven't dried many berries. What's the best way to preserve different berries, please? Can you dry them in the oven? Yes, you can. Now is the perfect time to pick all of the seed heads, dry all of the seeds. Berries, rowan in our garden, and pyracantha berries, absolutely covered. You can dry them on a very, very low oven. If you've got a dehydrator, even better. But yes, you can air dry them. You can string them on, if you had a needle and thread, fiddly, string them all on a string. You can then hang them up to dry on that as well. But a low oven, very, very low oven, would work as well. Yeah, absolutely. Barbara, I do too. It's perfect weather in North Carolina. Cool but not cold. Bright blue skies, little chill at night, fall. That's perfect. That is my ideal. Absolutely. Yeah, Morton films. Yeah, go for it. Halloween films. Xenia, as for autumn Maven films, Hallmark has cozy, cheesy autumn films. Ah, yes. See, you forget about these things. You think, oh, all the Christmas movies will be coming up soon. There are some on there. I saw yesterday. There are some Christmas films already up there. Yes, the Hallmark type film channels will have autumn film. I'm going to have to watch some of those now. Yeah, that's my yeah, definitely. Just write a note of that. With your hot chocolate or your pumpkin spice latte and your blankie. David, I think we're now in the season thanks to the brilliant harvest ritual last weekend with Susan Marie Paramore and co. Okay, I'm glad you had a very nice time. The kitchen one, which one is next week? Yeah, that's that is celebrating it, isn't it? If you work with a ritual in a group or on your own, if you do a ritual to welcome the season, then it's kind of a key, isn't it? It's kind of a switch to put you into that, right, that's it, we're in the next mode now. Do a ritual to be thankful for everything and to acknowledge. But it doesn't have to be huge. You can just light a candle or make an offering. Okay, that's it. I'm acknowledging that the wheel is turning. Absolutely. Yeah, we've got just got up more now. Season of the Squirrel or Children of the Corn. Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. Yes, there are two Hocus Pocus ones. There's the original one from, I want to say, the 80s. And Hocus Pocus 2 was a couple of years ago. I thought it was okay, the second one, but the first one for me has got so much magic to it. So Practical Magic, yeah, you've got to watch Practical Magic. That's tradition. Just finished filming Practical Magic 2. Yes, that'll be interesting, won't it? I have a horrible feeling Aidan Quinn's not in it though, so it might be a bit depressing. Just ordered the DVD. Enjoy, Emma, enjoy. David, also we don't have to get up so early to walk in the twilight. Yes, if you've got dogs and dog walking, you won't, yeah. It's that season. Sylvia, Hallmark is brilliant for seasonal movies. Why did I never think of that? Never thought of that. Christmas ones, yes. Didn't think about autumn ones, definitely. Lucky Fairy Queen suggests The Good Witch. Yes, an excellent series to watch. Barbara's saying the same. Yes, Hallmark The Good Witch. Yes, definitely. And Christine, when I get bored, I also watching Good Witch for the 5th time. Also love the nice witchy stuff and the seasons they celebrate too. I'm old, that's my excuse. I'm with you on that one, Christine. Do we set new traditions now? And I think that's absolutely fine. Do we perhaps get a bit set in the, oh, you have to do that because that's old, that's ancient, that's how things were always done? I think witchcraft in particular is fluid. I think magic is fluid. The practices are fluid. Just because it was done hundreds of years ago doesn't make it right for now. And just because it's a new thing invented last year doesn't make it any less magical or special. I think it has to be fluid. And I think a mixture of old traditions and new traditions is absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to dismiss any of them. It's just new ways of doing things aren't necessarily bad. I've seen people say, oh no, that's a modern idea, trash that. If it works, then go with it, then roll with it. In my very humble opinion. Sephora, we don't have squirrels here. Oh, but enjoy watching British photographer who lives in Sweden who photographs squirrel forest on YouTube. I'm going to have to look that up. I had no idea. New Zealand doesn't have squirrels. I did learn a couple of years ago that America doesn't have hedgehogs, which I was quite surprised about. I did not know that New Zealand doesn't have squirrels. Interesting. See, learn something. Yeah, another vote for The Good Witch. It's good. It's a good witch. Claire, The Love Witch is a fun film, cult classic. Don't know that one. We'll put that one on the list to investigate. Christine, life and magical work was a lot simpler. Just work with the farming year was their way for the ancestors. I think people were, well, they had to be more connected to the seasons, didn't they? They knew when it was going to rain. They knew by the way the birds flew or, some other obscure thing. They knew that it was going to rain tomorrow or that there was a storm coming in, or you had to be because it was your life that was on the line. So, yeah, we don't have that anymore, do we? We are not as connected as we used to be. I think it was simpler. Would I want to go back? No, because I like my shower. I like my plumbing and my heating. And I like my shower, which is why I don't do camping, because tents don't have ensuite. I'm not doing it. But it's a blend, isn't it? I think it is important to remember those old ways and incorporate them if you can. But I don't think the new modern ideas are any less valid. Xenia, nice witchy stuff is lovely. It is. Jalala. Our modern activities today will be the ancient traditions of the future. Yes, providing we don't destroy the earth and each other before then, which is a very, very high possibility, unfortunately. Yes, it is a way of looking at it, wasn't it? The old traditions that we work with now were new traditions once. Yes, very good way of looking at it. Emma calls them squibbles. I like that. I know, it's mad, isn't it? Wednesday, yes, I haven't seen that because it's on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, but I am. Heather watches that. She assures me it's very good. If it ever comes somewhere else, I will watch it. Xenia, the Love Witch. I've missed out on this one. I'm going to have to look at that one. Jalala. We don't have grey squirrels in most of northern France. We do have red squirrels, but not as many as there are grey squirrels in the UK. We have grey squirrels. We don't tend to have the red squirrels. The grey squirrels squished them all out, apparently. Do you know that mostly I see squirrels in the graveyards, which is interesting, along with the crows. David, just thought of an autumn folk horror film for those who want some early source scores, The Ritual. Okay, I don't know that one, but people are putting it on their list now. It's Addams Family. Yes, Addams Family. There's variations of that there, isn't it? See, I remember the original one. I haven't seen the new one. Nicola, love Good Witch and Outlander. Haven't seen Outlander. Have heard of that one.
I can pop you through to someone that can.
Xenia, we have red squirrels too. They are a bit shy. Yeah, it's because the grey squirrels beat them up, I think. Okay. Christine, just started watching Wednesday 2. Loving it so far, but have to keep stopping for other half to watch his programs. Well, that's rude. That is rude.
Just 1 sec. Let me see if I can pop.
Yeah, I think that's. There are certain programs, aren't there, that you watch at a specific time of the years. I'm not just talking Christmas films, obviously, but there are certain ones. It feels a bit weird watching Hocus Pocus or Practical Magic in the summer. Doesn't fit somehow. So yeah, even the viewing is quite seasonal, isn't it? Jane, grey squirrels are so cheeky here. If you sit on a bench in Valentine's Park, they'll go down your bag looking for peanuts. I have heard that you're not supposed to feed squirrels. You're not supposed to encourage them into your garden because they get into your house, they will trash it.
There's somebody called Utaka
have been warned.
Chasing one of his purchase orders.
Emma, liked Black and White Addams Family TV series. Yes, that's the one I remember. That is the one I remember. They do a lot of remakes of things, don't they? But they remake them because they were good, I think. But yeah, I think viewing things, again, it's like a tradition.
That sounds about right, yeah.
It's Halloween traditions that we watch Hocus Pocus and Rocky Horror. We do watch that at Halloween as well. But yeah, I think it is new traditions, new ways of working, totally fine. But we come back down to connection again. And for me, it's always about connection to what's happening outside. I've bought Conker's inside. I have a kitchen witch. Well, we have a kitchen witch altar. We've got our apothecary out in the other room with all of our herbs in that we make all the incenses and oils. Royal we, because Heather and Ness do that. But we've got a kitchen witch altar on the top with very personal things for each other on it. And I put Conker's on there last week when I picked them up. But conkers to me are abundant. They're buckeyes, I think they're called in America. They are abundance. They are a symbol of this is what Mother Nature provides. So the conkers are brilliant. They are good for abundance. They are good for prosperity. The green spiky casings are brilliant for protection. Excellent for working protection spells with. So this is about using all of the plant as well. Use the conkers for abundance, use the casings for protection. Lots and lots of right. Fun fact about squirrels from David: they originally were carnivorous, then evolved to be more herbivores. That doesn't surprise me, actually. Doesn't surprise me. They are, in some cases, classed as vermin, aren't they? They are. They are basically rats with tails. Not that I have a problem with rats, but Lucky Fairy Queen, like both the TV series and the Family Values movie that came out, it's all good. Christine, I'm not always stuck indoors. I'm missing not being able to drive up to local woods, but having to make do with a garden full of birds and TV to stop being brain dead. I think the TV makes us brain dead sometimes, doesn't it? Garden is my sanctuary. Jalala, did you know in the UK it's illegal to rescue a grey squirrel, illegal to keep one in your house, and illegal for a vet to treat one? Oh, I did not know that. I know you're not supposed to encourage them in because they are feisty little beggars. I did not know that. There you go. I think because they are typically classed as vermin, which is sad. Zenia, how we celebrate autumn equinox, watching cozy films because in spring and summer we're out and they're about. We've noticed this, actually. We have noticed this. We don't do an awful lot within Kitchen Witch online, workshops and things like that during the summer because no one's in. Everyone is out at pagan events. They're out at festivals. I've noticed trying to get guests for the Pagan Portal podcast. Cannot get them for love nor money in the summer because everyone is out doing festivals and events and, you know, running through fields of corn and grass and yeah, no one's indoors during the summer. Not going to happen. Jane, having more hours of darkness seems to create more time for dark things, whereas more hours of daylight gives us more time for light things. Darkness seems such a natural space for witchy stuff. Yes, it starts to pull us in, doesn't it? It starts to draw us indoors. And autumn and winter are definitely shadow work, inner work. Yeah, definitely. Tina, 'tis the season on mice coming into my home too. Yes, Eric's been barking at little tiny things running across the back of the house in the last couple of weeks. Debbie, our squirrels venture into the house on occasion to let me know the bird feeders are empty. Yes, they do like to steal all the bird food, don't they? Emma, conkers are also good for stringing, or is that just me? Well, when I played conkers as a kid, you put a hole in one with a skewer. Very, very dangerous. And put it on a bit of string or a shoelace. But stringing them up and hanging them in your house would be good for abundance and good for protection. No, rats with tails, yeah, that's what squirrels are, basically. Rats with big fluffy tails. Jane, conker casings can be used like stingers as a hot foot job. Well, yeah, you don't want to be stepping on one. They are really spiky. Xenia, time for a new squirrels folk horror film. Yeah, that would be quite freaky. Ruby, noticing how people are describing how the season change makes them feel. It's good to pause and feel what is happening rather than concentrating on too much of the visual. Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's connection again, isn't it? It is connection. It doesn't matter what you can see. What do you feel? Definitely. David says, stuff that squirrel law. Yeah. Yes, Christine, squirrels are killing off little red squirrels. I don't think I've ever seen a red squirrel in the UK because the grey ones carry squirrel pox, which is deadly to our Brit red squirrels. It's legal to help them, but that is why, I guess. But quite magical creatures, squirrels. If you want to draw on energy for a prosperity spell, particularly one where you want savings, to increase your savings, squirrel is a really good energy to draw upon because they do store things away. So squirrel energy is really good for prosperity spells and saving spells. Kerry, apparently conkers ward off spiders. Quite like the company of spiders. Yes, apparently if you put conkers all around your window ledges, it will keep spiders away. I've never tried it. it is one of those folklore things that I have seen on quite a number of occasions. So I'm assuming it works because, folklore says it does. So, but, worth a try. Depends if you want spiders in your home or not. I think it is, going back to the celebration of it, I think it is important to celebrate the points of the year. But don't beat yourself up about it if you don't want or need to do anything grand. It is just about recognizing what nature is doing and how that makes you feel. Christine, go to the New Forest. You may see a red one, but Scotland have lots of red ones. Okay. I've been to the New Forest a lot. I haven't seen any red squirrels. I will keep an eye out for them because it's not far from me, obviously. But yeah, down south where I am, just grey ones. Nicola, squirrels are so much fun to watch. They are so cheeky. My dog hates them. I think they tend to. Has nearly sent me flying so many times. Yeah. Debbie, I have 5 sweet chestnuts in the garden. Not looking forward to the spikes underfoot. Now, let's make a difference here. People need to remember that sweet chestnuts are different to horse chestnuts. Sweet chestnuts, nice. You can roast them over an open fire. Delicious. Horse chestnuts, do not eat them. They are toxic. Bear in mind as well that conkers, horse chestnuts, are very, very toxic to pets as well. Make the difference. Sappho. Like spiders, usually invite in a few. They hunt the bugs I don't see. Well, they do a job, don't they? They do eat flies and bugs and things. Iris, there are giant squirrels in India, I guess. 1.5 kilos per squirrel. That's a big old squirrel. There are flying squirrels too, aren't they? Which is quite freaky. Barbara has a pecan tree which draws lots of squirrels. I bet it does. They would love that. Jane, we are off for a 5-day break in the New Forest in October. Must look out for the red cephalopods.
You're going this off.
Yeah. Yes, well, we do go to the New Forest on occasion, so I will keep a lookout for the red squirrel. Big red squirrel spotting. So, however you celebrate the autumn equinox, or in Southern Hemisphere spring equinox, I think it's important to connect with the energies of the land around you, connect with nature around you, feel those changes, feel the change in energy, ask what can it do for you, what do you need to do, what can you do to give back, and also to be thankful for it as well. Lucky Fairy Queen saw a flying squirrel in Singapore, pretty cool until it flies towards you. Yeah, I bet. Christine, don't know why they call conkers horse chestnuts, because they apparently are poisonous to horses. But in the New Forest, they herd the horses in for health checks and set loose the piggies to eat up the conkers, fat piggies. The tree is a horse chestnut tree, isn't it? But I don't know where it got its name from. Lizzie, you can make fab laundry liquid from conkers. You can. I have seen that. I'm far too lazy to do that, but apparently it works. So whatever you are doing for the equinox, have a fabulous time. I'm afraid there won't be a Friday morning chat next week because the girls and I are on our hollybobs. But I will be back again the week after. There will be another Waffling Witches in the next few weeks as well. Keep an eye on the Facebook because obviously we'll let you know what we're doing when we're in Torquay, doing mad things like we do. So have a wonderful equinox, and I will see you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you for joining me.